Warbots. This has been a game that has been around for around 5 years now. It's a 6v6 multiplayer shootout where basically Warbots fight each other. It has been around for 5 years now, and it has amassed over 100 million downloads cross-platform. Versus Call of Duty, one of the newest shooters on the game. It has already racked up 50 million downloads on the Android platform, and it's honestly one of the biggest trends currently. How do they stack up? Which one is better, and why? Today I will attempt to answer that for you. Alright, so first of all, both games are completely different, okay? We have to understand that. Like, Call of Duty is a shooter that's been around, honestly, for as long as I can remember, but it's the first time it's ever been on the mobile platform. Activision decided to bring it out, and it's had a massive success. Now, we have Warbots that is honestly, has been around for a while on the mobile platform, around 5 years now, over 5 years, actually, and it's been around for a while. It's a 6v6 shooter, kind of like a Call of Duty, except I think, wait, is Call of Duty 5v5? I don't even remember. Oh my god. I've played both games extensively, and honestly, I gotta say, both are really great games, but which one is worth your time? I'm gonna talk about that today, and I'm not gonna really give you a answer per se. I'm gonna say which one I like the most, but you know what? The answer is up to you, because to be honest, both games are great, and I can understand why someone would like Warbots and why someone would like Call of Duty better. So let's just give a little description, I guess. So Warbots, again, it's been around for a while. It's basically Warbots. It's in the name. You fight with massive giant robots that like on huge maps, absolutely huge maps. It's what's known as a slow shooter. Slow shooters are where, you're playing the game as you would on an Xbox or console game, but it's actually a lot slower. And this allows for players to, kind of perfect their strategies, perfect tactics, and as well as on mobile, it's actually really hard to not make mistakes. And so slowing down the game a little bit makes it easier. Now, Warbots definitely has picked up the pace in terms of the speed of robots, though, so I wouldn't call it too much of a slow shooter anymore. Now we have Call of Duty. This is a first-person shooter, and I don't think it needs too much of an introduction. I think most people know what Call of Duty is. Like, if you have never heard of Call of Duty, well, you're living under a rock, okay? Like, uncultured swine. Like, understand what Call of Duty is. You basically just fight it out, kind of. Well, there is a battle royale mode, and then there is also other modes that you can do, like deathmatch and beacons and stuff like that. I personally like deathmatch. So for both games, I've definitely played them a lot. Like Call of Duty, I'm up to like level 45, which isn't, it's not like pro or anything, but like I've gotten decent at it, okay? My aim sucks though, so don't y'all go into the comments and like annoy the crap out of me because I have sucky aim, okay? I know I do, I know. And then we have Warbots, which if you've been on this channel for a while, I'm probably gonna be biased towards Warbots, to be honest, because I've played over 4,000 battles. I have a small obsession with Warbots, just a small one, yeah, 4,000 battles. I've played that game for about, I would say, going on 2 years now. So let's get right into it. All right. So in terms of aiming, both have completely different aiming systems, and I gotta say, Call of Duty, it's superior in my opinion in a lot of ways. And then, but Warbots does have a interesting aiming system, but in terms of the settings and the, you can move things around and do things with that, and I'll explain. So Call of Duty has, of course, this free aiming system where you can aim anywhere you'd like, and this for the mobile platform is kind of hard to utilize because, again, as I've said, the mobile platform is hard to play on. Like, in terms of these high-speed FPS shooters, it's hard to play on because it's so fast, and honestly, fingers just can't move that fast on a screen. It's just a lot harder to do that. So there are a lot of accuracy issues and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's superior to Warbots because they have settings, a much more superior amount of settings and customizability. Like, the original settings for the Call of Duty thing was not very good. Like, they had all these weird things everywhere. All the shooting buttons were messed up. They were everywhere. And so I could control and put them where I wanted. I'm a lefty, for those of you guys that don't know, so I had to switch around a lot of different things to make sure that it fits my playstyle where I'm a lefty, And so on Warbots, I can't do that. Warabout's has a more fixed aiming system where basically it will lock onto a target for you. In fact, some weapons will completely lock on and you don't even really have to aim too much. But there are certain weapons like the Avenger and stuff where you actually have to aim pretty hard. And then there are vortexes and stuff like that where aiming's not that big of a deal. Now, this is easier for a lot of our players to play on mobile that maybe aren't pro or like are amazing because mobile is hard to play on, as I've said before. So this kind of lock-on system, it may take a little bit of fun out of people that have really good aim, but at the end of the day, for someone like me that has sucky aim but good strats, man, I'm decent at Warabout's, I gotta say, because I know the strats. I got the strats down. It's just my aim sucks. And this helps me out a lot with that aiming system. But it doesn't have settings. That's something that Warabout's, I think, really needs to look into. All right, in terms of graphics. Ooh, this is hard. This is actually pretty hard. Most people would go for Call of Duty in terms of graphics, but I actually think that Warabout's has decent graphics also. There are some issues, I think, and I think Warabout's probably in the 2020 season is going to have a graphics probably overhaul and do a lot of different things. But in terms of graphics, both have really, really nice graphics. For a mobile game, of course, probably not for a PC game, of course, but like for a mobile game, it's really nice graphics. Like, dude, it can be sometimes hard to play on, of course, because of those graphics. Sometimes they're so high, but and again, Warabout's does not have those systems where you can turn down the graphics. Call of Duty does. So it's a little bit of a downer in terms of the settings and the customizability of Warabout's, but we'll talk about that in the settings and everything. So yeah, but definitely. Now, let's talk about maps. Maps. Like the actual content aspect of these games. And this is where I think Warabout's, in my opinion, actually comes ahead of Call of Duty a lot on this one. And it's purely because, Call of Duty is a newer game. It's only been around for a little bit, and honestly, they're kind of lacking in terms of content, in terms of maps, in terms of weapons and stuff like that. Warabout's definitely, I mean, it's been very controversial, the amount of weapons and robots and stuff that they put into the game in the past, but to be honest, there's so much more customizability than there was before, and I feel like Call of Duty now is so simplistic in terms of the weapons that they have. The playstyles and strategies on those weapons just don't fit, there are just a couple of different playstyles, honestly, for Call of Duty, and a lot of them only fit into two, and that's sniping and brawling. That's basically it in terms of Call of Duty. There really isn't any other playstyle. I mean, you can do some knife fighting, like melee. There are a couple of different playstyles, but they're for the most part underpowered and unusable. Meanwhile, on Warabout's, we have a lot more diversity, I feel, in terms of builds. Once you get in Champion League, not so much, because the overpowered Leech meta currently kind of takes over. But if you're in any other match, or if you're in just a regular randoms match, even in Champion League, like clan battles, it gets to be hell. But like if you're in a regular Champion Leagues battle, I guess in randoms, it's not too unbearable. You can play so many different playstyles, so much easier than on Call of Duty. And we have support. We have so many different playstyles that I really like, and there's mid-range, there's stuff like that, and Call of Duty does not have that at all. They just have sniping, brawling, and then sometimes a knife fight here and there, and there are a couple of other playstyles, but they're really small. I like the fact that there are even the kamikaze attacks, like, no pun intended in terms of my channel name, but like you can literally get a hellburner and then just run in there and blow up. And then there's beacon capping, and honestly, Call of Duty really, in terms of their beacon rush game modes, it's not that good. Like, they're not that fun compared to like a deathmatch. And honestly, I like Beacon Rush a lot more because it brings in new playstyles, So I don't know. I feel like Call of Duty really needs to look into adding in some new weapons, some new stuff like that. Don't kind of junk up their entire game with all that stuff. I feel like they really should add in some new things. Also, in terms of maps, like there aren't enough maps. There are just a few. I think, what is there, like 6? If I'm not mistaken, there's like 6 maps. And that's good for a start, but like when you're playing the same exact map over and over again, it gets boring as hell. Warabout's, on the other hand, they have new maps. Like we have a lot. We actually have a lot of maps. And I take that for granted sometimes, but a lot of these maps, or a lot of these games don't have that many maps. So I take that for granted how many maps Warabout's actually has, and it makes playstyles so much different, so much more entertaining, so, I don't know, just better. Now, let's talk about pay to win. And this is, again, definitely a big turnoff in terms of Warbots. And yeah, Call of Duty on this one definitely takes the cake. Because Call of Duty, you can honestly survive without paying. Like, both games are pay to win by definition. I know there's going to be people in my comment section that are going to be like, well, Kamikaze, it's not pay to win because you can grind all you want and you can get up there. It's pay to win, okay? That is the definition of pay to win, that you can pay to increase your status in the game. So both games are pay to win, but it's the amount of pay to win. And I've always said this before. Warbots has pay to win, more so than Call of Duty. I'm not going to go into Call of Duty really, and probably chances are I'm not going to be paying $100 for a weapon or whatever. In Warbots, you are. Now they do have deals and a lot of stuff like that, but people literally play like they literally spend hundreds of dollars because that's how much stuff costs in the game, and it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. I don't. I think in terms of pay to win, like Warbots, dude, it's become a little bit more of an issue as time went on. Once it got bought over by Mail.ru, and now pay to win is getting better. I started a strike a while ago, and it didn't work too well, and whatever. But I started strike a while ago just because of the pay to win, just to kind of say, yeah, there's pay to win, please change it. And I think in the 2019 season, they've definitely gotten better in terms of pay to win. But like $100 for a robot is honestly insane. Like, that's pre-sale, of course, but still, $100 for a robot. There are people out there that dished out $100 for a leech just to get the meta. And on Call of Duty, you really don't have that. Like, you can grind all you want, and you can get there pretty quickly. There's no upgrade time or stuff like that. You can grind, and you can get very high up in the leagues, and that's something that on Call of Duty I think is special. Call of Duty definitely on the mobile game community is definitely very, very advanced in terms of the pay to win because they have so little pay to win. And the community there is extremely happy, extremely positive because they love that their game is not pay to win. And most games these days on mobile platforms, that's how they make their money. And I can't blame them for that, but like Call of Duty is special in that sense. That's such a major plus for Call of Duty. All right. So I've definitely talked about a couple of the key concepts of Call of Duty and Warbots. So I want to hear your opinions. Go down to the comment section. Well, first of all, hit that like and subscribe. But go down to the comment section. Tell me what you think. Personally, I'm gonna stay with Warbots. It's just because it's the game that I play. I'm freaking obsessed with it because I don't know, man. I love the game. There's something about it that like I can play the game for hours. I can't do that with Call of Duty. That's just my opinion, but like, dude, you guys can have your own opinions. I'm still gonna play Call of Duty because again, it's a great game. I'm gonna continue to play it, but I think Warbots is still gonna be the main, guys. So tell me what you guys think about both games. I want to hear your honest opinion and what you thought about the different aspects of each game. Tell me it, guys. I'm gonna go down to the comment section. I'm going to listen to you guys. I'm serious. I want to hear what you guys want to say. All right, guys. This is Kamikaze. Have a great day. Like, subscribe. Like and subscribe. Do it right now. Do it. I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, guys. This is Kamikaze. Stay safe. Sign out.